I am conscious about myself and everything, and then suddenly, or slowly, my conscious fades out, switches off, and it is a not existing. And that is a marvelous feeling, that from existing I'm a not existing. And at that moment, nothing can happen to me.
The whole purpose of Persona is to deconstruct the whole filmic thing and expose it to you. It starts off carbon arcs, just light, so on and so forth. Then you'll see spools, reels. But then after that, you see another level. You start seeing spiders, and you see then other images from films, like Buñuel's thing of cutting a sheep's eye, and various even cartoons that look almost like Chaplin or Keystone Cops. It's all levels of reality and all up there, up for grabs, and it's images, images, images. It seems that Ingmar described the movie as a poem in images.
I was introduced to Ingmar Bergman in a very strange way. Like they say in the movie magazines, I was walking on the street with Bibi Andersson, who is a wonderful Swedish actress, and we had done a film together and we became best friends. And we were walking in Stockholm, and then we met Ingmar Bergman, who had worked in several films with Bibi Andersson, and he stopped and he looked at me and he said, "Oh, would you like to be in one of my films?" And I thought he was joking, but he was not.
Bergman had been writing a script called The Cannibals, which corresponded to, I think, his mood of the times, which, as the vast, vast majority of scripts can testify to, they never get made.
But this film that he wanted me in for the small part, that was cancelled because he became ill. And he was in the hospital, and while he was there, he saw a picture of Bibi Andersson and me, and he was struck by the likeness of our two faces.
He saw a photo that somebody took where we have certain similarities, although they are not too obvious if we are beside each other, but it's something with the blue eyes and the nose, and he thought it would be interesting to use us together.
He is in a hospital, Sophia Hammett, and going through a kind of breakdown. Again, psychosomatic, a mixture, you know, of both.
I tell you how it came to me, if it interests you. I was ill, and they had to make some sort of operation. It's operation.
Yes?
Yes. And I got in my arm...
an injection?
An injection. And it had never happened before. And
you were anesthetized?
Yes. I had been asleep, not asleep, unconscious 6 hours. You know, I had no feeling about of time, of hour. From existing, I had been in a situation of not existing. And that makes me very happy. That life is, I am conscious about myself and everything, and then suddenly, or slowly, my conscious fades out, switches off, and it is a not existing. And that is a marvelous feeling, that from existing I'm a not existing. And at that moment, nothing can happen to me. I think it would be terrible if somebody came after this marvelous not existing and wake me up and said, your eternal soul, Mr. Bergman, or something like that. You have to go here and there, and you are guilty for that and not guilty for that. And I think it's It's just crazy. And that made me so, just this feeling of not existing, not existence, made me very happy, because it was a feel of relief, because this feeling of a God, this föreställning om en Gud.
This idea about a God.
Yes, this idea about a God was very unhealthy, because it was a feeling of something that is perfect, that is extremely perfect, that is the most extreme perfect that exists. And in comparison,
yes.
To that, I always must feel like a snake, like a dirty snake. And for a human being to feel like a dirty snake is not good.
And while in the hospital, in 14 days, he wrote a new film. And Bibi and I, who were in Czechoslovakia on vacation because the film wasn't going to be made, the one we were going to be in, we got a fax to the embassy, Swedish embassy, come back to Sweden, you're going to do a film anyway. And that was Persona, which was built on the likeness of two actresses and two women.
Vet du vad jag tänkte när jag hade varit och sett din film den där kvällen? När jag kom hem så såg jag mig i spegeln och så tänkte jag, men vi är ju lika.
In an Ingmar Bergman movie, you get a whole vision of something, and it can be very different depending what phase in his career we're talking about. You're looking at it, you're seeing things that have been shaped by him. And unfailingly, what you see in a Bergman movie is the human face. And Bergman's immense love and fascination, and sometimes fear or disgust, of a human face.
Yeah, he likes close-ups, but he also lights them carefully. He is not, both he and Sven Nykvist, I'm never worried if I'm in close-up with them, because I know somehow the light will be right. They will give me a possibility to, I mean, sometimes close-ups can be unbearable if you know you're lit badly, and it's just brutal, you know. They come in and they check your pores and everything. They don't do that, no. And at one instant I made fun of them, telling them how they come and looked and checked if you had pimples and things. And I didn't mean to hurt them, I just told them how terrible it was to have these two guys checking that you didn't have any pimples. And then Ingmar was very hurt. He said, but I did it for you. I knew you wanted to be pretty. Why did you take it badly? I just made a good story. It's nothing to do. I was grateful. He does beautiful close-ups, especially if you're young enough to be in them.
What Ingmar does, there is the camera, and as close as he can get, Ingmar sits. So you have an audience, and you have the best, most marvelous audience, because you have somebody who is surprised, or is full of wonder, or is understanding whatever, and you play for him.
Du sover i ditt ansikte slappt. Din mun är svullen och ful. Du har en elak rynka i pannan.
Acting is not only to speak. The best roles can be when you're quite Strindberg's The Stronger. One role is totally quiet all the time. It's not a lesser role, you know, so sometimes it's very rewarding to just be quiet.
It was a great challenge because I was 25 years. I was, shy. I was kind of innocent when I did Persona. I had been an actress for 7-8 years. But for me to do something which was about a woman who must have been 40 years old, because it was about an actress who had misused words for so many years and didn't want to connect with other people. I didn't even understand that kind of problem. But it was really looking at Ingmar, not so much what he said,